Welcome back everybody. We've all heard the term order block in Forex. What are actually order blocks? What are the concepts of order blocks? And today in this video I'm going to show you how they work, how they can help you in trading, and what they actually are. And with that being said, let's get straight into it. So we've all heard the term order block, but what is it actually? Is it an institutional method, or is it just price action? Now in this video I'm gonna explain my opinion and how it is just price action. And institutional concepts can be something, but I just want to show you my point of view and how to view an order block and use it to your advantage without overcomplicated things. So this is going to be a short video, nice and simple, and clear things up about order blocks. So traditionally in the institutional methods, an order block is basically an area where the institutions accumulate orders and create liquidity, and they drive the price up, so they have open orders for price to continue up, and then they open a bigger order to move the price down, right? But they still have their orders that are still open for the price moving up. So eventually in the future, the people say that the price has to reach this area so that the institutions can offload their orders and continue the direction down like that or something. But that is a concept, but at the end of the day it's just price action. And for me, we're going to go through it and look at what it is, right? So if you look at it in terms of a price action, what we basically created is we've created a range, right? And price basically has a resistance here and price had a support here. Now we can see very, very clearly, we can even make this smaller like so. What happened is that we can even draw lines to make it nice and clear. So here's your resistance and here's your support, right? And you can see that price basically just closed below that current resistance, right, or support. Here you can see that very clearly, that price closed below and it came down and made clean candles. And this is very important factor, that there was clean candles. Now obviously now we've created clean candles. What did price do at the bottom here? It created a second range, and this is how price action works. So it created a very messy range here, and you can see as soon as price closed above the first range here, like so, you can see price closed above, and looking left we had clean candles, so it came up to fill that range. And you can see here it came up and filled till this area around here, this candle here, before finding a minor resistance. Then it came back down. Then price created a second range. Now remember, when we have clean candles, high chance price will come up to fill these candles and fill these areas here, especially when we are on an uptrend. Now people think order blocks are made for reversals, right? Well, while it did reverse the price here, people would have think, okay, as soon as it comes and retests this order block, we should continue down. But that's not always the case, because the trend was very bullish. And if you go and look carefully now, next time when we created a range, the second range was here. Here's your resistance and here's your support down here, or something. You can even draw it like this. What happened? It's very clear that price closed above, and looking left we had clean candles. Price came and filled that range. Nothing happened when it reached the order block. Price did not continue down. It just continued with the trend, making higher lows and higher highs. And that's the conception about order blocks. All they are is creating clean traffic in the markets for later on, when price creates a range and closes outside of that range, then price should come up and fill this, right? And that's essentially what order blocks do, and that's how you can look at them. So next time you look at order blocks, all they're doing is has a support and a resistance and then clean candles, for that price to get filled. Even with something like euro dollar, right? Euro dollar, you can see it created an order block here, right? And we were in a downtrend, to say, right? And when we came and we created this order block, we created one huge clean candle here. Price came all the way down here, creating another order block, which later got tested here. And you can see that price struggled around there. Why did it struggle? Because essentially all it was is a support and a resistance, and price had a range. What happened when price closed outside of that range? As you can see here, oops, why is that drawing like that? When price closed outside of that range, like so, it continued down, right? So it's all a terms of price action. Now, whether you want to use, I have nothing against institutional methods, but I just want to show you how it's just simple price action. And whatever method you want to use, it's up to you. But all it is basically is it's a resistance and it's a support, and you can see clearly here price made a support, and then price closed outside of that range. There was a clean candle to fill here, And that's what price did. It filled that candle. That's all it was. That got filled. That's the trade you take between here and here. You don't need to catch all of that. That's enough for the day. And I'm not hating against institutional methods. If that's what you're comfortable trading, then trade it. I'm just giving people who might find that very complicated, might find that very difficult, to have a different perspective on the market, right? And maybe find a different method that's better suited for the long term, right? So now we have that clean candle there. Price obviously came and filled that clean candle. No entry opportunity here. I mean, you could argue that there was an entry opportunity, but there really wasn't. Euro dollar moves very in not in the cleanest ways. There's a lot of movements in euro dollar, but we can see that that candle eventually got filled, but we still didn't get this order block mitigated, and then it continued down. We actually continued all the way up and created a huge order block up here, which people will now argue that price has to come back up here. Price doesn't have to come back up here, but the market likes to test zones, right? The market would have liked to have this tested at some point. And if you keep that in mind, all it's created is a clean candle for you to go and take a trade later. While you can see here that now we've done is created clean candles, which can be said, but all they are is a range. Price broke out of that range, continuing down, and then you can see the next time price moves back into that range, we can expect it to come up and fill this range. But you have to always, when you're trading, you have to follow the trend, and the trend was going down. So so you don't really want to take a counter trend trade. Why don't you want to take a counter trend trade? Well, be smart, right? You can see if we take a measurement tool, right? So price range, so now that we're on a downtrend, right? Look at the downside movements. The downside movements, 200 pips, right? The upside movements, 100 pips. The downside movements, 200 pip. The upside movement is 100 pips. So you can see it's a lot more beneficial going with the trend and try to catch it going down instead of trying to catch these counter trends, right? Sometimes, look, even these small counter trend moves, you're only catching like 30 pips or something. So, that's my what I think about order blocks. That's how you can use them in trading. It's essentially all it is creating a range and clean candles. Don't really worry about it in trading. Just remember it's a support or a resistance. So wrapping this video up, go back on GBP JPY. Say we have the order block here. All we know now is that this is a support and a resistance, right? And we can expect price to react at that area. Same as if price were to come back up here, we can expect price to react at that area, because you can see here that this was a resistance, it came down, and now it's support. That's the reaction. But essentially we're still in a range, right? And you can see price broke out of that range, and you can see when you look left, then you have that clean candle. Price came and filled that clean candle. Now, with that being said, that's my, leave a comment. Be sure to like and subscribe this video. It helps out. And yeah, take care and trade sharp. Peace.